I am so happy to welcome all of you today, whether you're here in person, whether you're listening on the internet or via TV, or whether you're listening to this at a later time via podcast. Our whole team welcomes you to the Good News Tour 2008, a conference entirely about God. As we start the program, I would like all of you to get really comfortable in your seats right now, because we're going to talk about God. Do you think the God of heaven and earth wants us to be comfortable when we talk about him? Are you comfortable with your judge? Are you comfortable with the one who knows your most intimate thoughts, even your motives? Are you comfortable with the one who created the whole universe and even the laws that govern it? Well, I suppose that depends on who you believe God to be. The biblical record reveals a conflict of massive proportions that is being carried out in the minds of God's creatures over one single issue. Who is God? What is he like? And who and what are the methods of his kingdom? And it appears that he has created us free to vote for or against him, for his methods or against his methods of operation. So, what are the methods of the supreme being of the universe? In America, we live in a democracy, and we value freedom to be one of the highest ideals a society could strive for. But when we read our Bibles, do we wonder about God, particularly the Old Testament Revelation? Is his government based on force and coercion? Or does he use truth, evidence, and persuasion to win his case? Are we free to choose him out of love, or does he compel us under threat of torture in hell and subsequent execution? Does divine justice demand payment for my sin, just like an eye was demanded for an eye in the Old Testament? Or is the cross God's no to retaliation and yes to love and forgiveness toward his enemies? This conference, the Good News Tour, is here to campaign for Election Day. And the president of the universe is the one we're campaigning for. The message about him is straightforward and easy to understand. Yet when its full consequence is realized, it has the power to overthrow every false picture of God. And this is the message. Jesus is God. Did you get that? Maybe I should reword it. God is just like Jesus. God is just like Jesus in character. And his government is based on the same methods that Jesus used when he was on earth. Do you think the Father could have been born in an animal's feeding trough? Do you think the Father would say of himself, "Foxes have holes and birds have nests, but I have no place to lay my head"? Do you think the Father would eat with the riffraff of our society? And do you believe the words, "Neither do I condemn you," could have been the Father's words to the prostitutes of Los Angeles? The Message Bible puts it this way: And this is eternal life, that they know you, the one and only true God. Eternal life not defined as the length that we live, but to know God. And then Jesus goes on to say, I have glorified you on earth by completing to the last detail what you assigned me to do. I have spelled out your character in detail to the men and women you gave me. We'd like to say with Paul, let everyone be persuaded in her own mind, not forced, not coerced, not pressured, but persuaded. We welcome you to listen to the arguments today and tomorrow and to be persuaded by the one who is good and kind and gentle and humble, by the President who serves.